been trying to do for the last couple days is basically start a new game. Let's play day 40 something island behind, and I want to start a new game to basically. Sorry, hang on one second. Basically to show you kind of how the game starts, how it, how you survive from the beginning, how you go about leaving your first island and getting to where you're really ready to just thrive on the island, where you don't have to worry about a lot of supplies and stuff like that, because you're able to be really self-sufficient. So with that said, let's go ahead and begin. So let's do a random island. Single player, we'll leaving all the wildlife and stuff on. We'll do a male, and we'll leave permadeath off, just in case something happens. So let's begin. So as any good survival game goes, it starts with a plane wreck. So spoilers for what happens in about 5 seconds. Sorry if I ruined that for you. Basically, your pilot and co-pilot have appeared. Not sure what happened to them, but no. So all we're doing there is just getting to our raft so we can begin. And here we are, floating in the middle of an island, or in the middle of the water. That's right over there. So let's go ahead and get the land. Let's go over here. Don't need that, so I'm going to put it back. So stepping on the crabs, they'll bite you, so don't want to do any of that yet. So first things first, I need to pick up a few items so we can start crafting us a couple essential items. So those things there, they will poison you. So if you're ever out and about, usually right along the shoreline, but they'll poison you. So try to stay clear of them. Sometimes you can't help it. The other day I got poisoned by one because it was literally underneath a rock, and you could only see the absolute edges of the thing. It was completely hidden. Well, I guess not completely because I could see it, but very, very well hidden, we'll say. I'll leave that there for now. I got enough. Let's do a stone tool. If I can get some lashings. Potato. So the palm saplings will give you fibrous leaves. These are one of the most useful items in the game. You use it for pretty much everything. Gradient lashes, refilling your water stills, filling fires. You can make cloth with them. So, and cutting them down, they will respawn after a couple days. So you always want to go ahead and cut them when you can. Even if you don't pick them up, just leave the fiber sleeves on the ground. But at least cut the palm saplings or the yucca plants to allow them to respawn. So let's get a few more of these. Alright, first thing I want to do is make a refined knife. Do a lashing, no, do a knife. This should have a couple rations, compass, and a bandage. The knife will make these much faster to cut down. Let's go check out the bricks real quick. Okay, pick those up a little bit. There. One of the things you're really looking for in these guys are storage boxes, which neither one of these have. Just makes it a lot easier when you're going to move from the island and stuff to be able to transport your stuff. Actually, on that note of leveling up, so here's your handy dandy watch. So the top is your health. You got obviously food, water, how much SPF you got going. That's important because you can get heat or sunstroke. So start draining your health after a little bit. So you want to make sure you keep all that stuff in mind. So let's go ahead and do we should have 4, 5. Let's get the fire going. Somewhere where we put a raft. We'll just kind of use it as a safe area. It's gotta be around here somewhere. There we go. So I missed a lot of stuff back there. I'll go get it here in a minute. I want to get us a fire though. Get us some killing. I'll leave here because I don't need to carry it. I don't recall even picking that up, but okay. So this plant, if you combine it with a coconut flask, you can make an antidote, which is obviously very, very helpful. Let's drop these guys. That. Let's do a shelter next, just so we can go ahead and get a save, and that should put us in level 1. So we need some sticks. be another stick, but I do not see where it went. And we'll need the palm tree. This will take a second. Obviously, there are some weird physics that happen occasionally on here. I've seen some really funny things where, like, once you drag a shark up on shore, take a spear out of it, and the shark goes flying way out in the middle of the ocean somehow. But, you know, can't be perfect. Let's do that. So first things first, let's go ahead and save. So now that we're level 1, we can make a spear. And now let's go these guys. So you can catch all these little fish here, but you'll need a fishing spear to do that. But we can't grab these crabs. So one of the first things I like to do when I get to a new island is clear out anything harmful on land. That way when I'm just running around trying to do things, I don't have to be worried about accidentally doing something dumb. Let's go out through here. You also have the aloe plant, which you can make an aloe salve to give you basically sunblock for an entire day. So if you know you're going to be, well, just like right now, it would actually help me. But let's go cool down. So you can see my SPF is blinking. So we need to find somewhere where the sun's not hitting us. I should do. There's something else you can do to build your SPF back up is to swim underwater. Even though I don't believe that's actually how it works in real life, being underwater will actually completely protect you from SPF, and you'll start gaining it back. So these yucca fruits. So those are very handy for. What I'll end up doing is before I leave this island, I'll go ahead and pick those fruits. That way I can do plant those, and then they'll actually grow yucca plants. And then what I like to do with those is just use those for basically it'll keep your water stills full and stuff like that. They're, like I said, they're very, 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 very useful. So actually, let's go ahead and get this guy. So like I said, they will grow back here soon. So something online where there's like 10 in-game minutes, but I don't, or real life minutes, but I don't believe that's accurate. Grab that. Make sure we don't step on that. It's not usually that much corrugated scrap on starter island. It's pretty nice. So you can spear the birds, but if you miss and hit a rock, it'll break your spear. So I just wait till I can get you can create a bird snare, and that's a very easy and useful way to basically always have food. So you can see we have a shipwreck there. So the thing to keep in mind with shipwrecks is the fact that that's where the sharks tend to hang out. So I don't, obviously, especially this time of night, it makes it hard to see down in the water. You can see there. So I'm definitely not going to go out there right now. I think we're about at the point where we're going to just go get us a fire going, because it's making it hard to see in the water right now. So I think we actually already did an entire lap, so we should be good to go. So let's go find where we started a couple islands recently, so it's hard to remember where I started stuff. Twitch has been acting weird the last couple days, so looks like it might be alright right now, but they have been, captures have been very they just haven't looked very good, and not a fan of that. So let's go and drop these guys. Let's pick our spear back up so we have it. Let's get us some meat going. So anything you have, crabs or birds or whatever it is, as long as you do not skin it, it will not go bad. So basically these guys will sit here a day or 10 years, they'll still be basically still be crabs. Still skin them and the meat will still be good somehow. That goes for anything: boars, snakes, sharks, fish, bats, whatever it is. So just keep that in mind. Don't, as soon as you get everything, just don't start cleaning everything because you have it. You want to make sure you hang on to those things. Probably should grab us a coconut. So one easy way to get a coconut out of a tree. What you do with the coconut is hit them a couple times, then they'll make drinkable coconut. So keep in mind that you can get sick from drinking too many. I try not to drink more than 3. I don't know the exact number, but it seems like 3 is or it seems like more than 3 is where you start getting sick from it. And then as you saw, once you empty it, you can cut it open again and it'll make it into food. So you get water and food out of each coconut, so it's pretty nice. So you can climb these trees. No, so since I load up on cooking, there are your stats for all your hunting, cooking, physical gathering, stuff like that. Harvesting's the other one. So for cooking, I think you gain when you're not by your food, but I believe you gain faster when you're near it. So especially early on, it's a pretty good idea to hang out near your food while it's cooking. So Let's drop some of this stuff. These we don't need. We won't need these for a little while. And I should be able to do a. Yep. That's something I really need to do is get a crude axe. Definitely speed up cutting logs. Let's go ahead and just sleep. Sun should be coming up over here somewhere. So there's something else to keep in mind if anybody else plays the game. It is not like real life where the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. I believe, let's grab us our compass here. I believe it's, oh no, this one actually is on the east. I apologize. I must have fixed that in one of the latest updates. Before, it would always rise in the west, actually. Something that does appear to still be true, though, is the water. If you can see the way it's flowing, it basically runs north to south. So if you out in the middle of nowhere need to know which way you're going, basically you can just see where which way the water's flowing. Don't need that much water. Let's get some more coconuts. Very large palm trees here. Very handy later. It's pretty impressive that I got both of those to stand on top of each other. You're welcome. So let's do a once over on the island to make sure we didn't miss any crabs or anything we don't want to be stepping on. So something you will notice is I'm a big wimp when it comes to being out in the water. It's just that on land there's only a couple things that can actually hurt you, and then when you're out in the water you have sharks you got to deal with, you've got sea snakes that'll poison you, you have sea urchins that'll poison you, you have lionfish that will I believe the lionfish that'll poison you. So it's just there's a lot to deal with when you're out swimming. So you can usually find most of a pretty good deal of what you need just by not really dealing much with being out in the water. There's a couple times you really need to. So crates, basically need to go out there for crates, and then you'll also need to go out there for if you're going to do like if you're wanting to get into building like clay, stuff out of clay. Sorry. Sorry, cough. Crap hanging out. Alright, so what we're going to do, drop them all, drop this guy off. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do, before we do anything, what we want to build is a water still. So we'll need a, not level 2 yet, that'll change. We'll do just a couple more spears, that should get us level 2. But basically what you can do is, if you're on PC, you can right click on this and it'll put what you need up here in the corner. So we need a coconut flask. So let's go grab us a coconut. Need a lash. Make one of those. So let's go ahead and that's what we'll eventually need it anyway. So let's just cut this palm tree down. I think I just got lucky there because I think if I wouldn't have tried to grab it and pick it up, that palm tree was going to go flying. So we'll need these guys. Toss them up there. Let's go ahead and drink him. We'll leave him empty for now. We don't really need food. So, drop one of these. So let's do a lash. Do a claw. A couple more spears. We'll need them when we go. We'll go check out these shipwrecks when we get good. Probably 9 or 10 spears. We'll almost definitely be running into a shark. So I should be able to make my water still now. Let's just throw him here. Something I did not learn right away is the fact that I was always trying to figure out, I was able to drink once. I did not realize that you had to fill this back up. Let's go ahead and keep him full. Let's actually drop these guys for a little bit. And then let's go. Let's get more spears. Okay. So there's a shipwreck there, but unfortunately, actually I don't need this guy either. Let's brace up a little bit more room. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be. I think he's going to be in too shallow water. very hard to put my anchor out. Try it. Oh, excellent. Let's go hook him back up. And let's get ready for our first shark encounter, which right there he is. So looks like we got a hammerhead. And I'm sad, unfortunately, right now with what we have, it's going to take about, I believe it's 8 or 9 spears to kill this guy. Let's see where he went. There it is. Oh, oops, missed. And that's why I made a few extra. Luckily we're right by shore, so it'll actually be very easy to get back in. Oops. Wow. Well, that's not good. So, unfortunately, what we're going to need to do is get that. We're actually going to have to go back into shore because I wasted all my spears. Those are some very, very, very bad shots. If I can't kill him with these last 3, I'm in bad shape anyway, so. See, hopefully he'll still be around. That's actually smart. Head over to right a little bit more. I should definitely get his attention. And the good thing is he'll still be in the same boat we left him on, so he'll still have lots of spears in him. There he is. It's hard to see right there. He is now dead. So let's swim him back in the land for now. good eating tonight. So I still have a spear, so I'm not really worried about picking all these up at the moment. So here's our first shipwreck. So what we're looking for are these guys. There's a lionfish there, you don't want to mess with them. Nice. This inventory's full, so we'll just swim this guy back in. And let's go get a boat. Do that. And back up here. I'm not going to use them later, so might as well use them now. There we go. Let's see how good we got. Not very useful at the moment. So let's see fuel neutral. Come on there. Of course. Well, if I have enough to make a motor, but I can't make fuel yet, so it's kind of not useful. These are pretty useless. I think you can use them to scare animals and stuff, but it's not that big of a deal. Make sure we don't lose these guys. We'll be filling part of our raft with them. Fire. Lantern would be helpful, so let's drop him over here. And let's go for our spears. So animals like sharks. Just want to make sure there wasn't hiding from. Okay. Basically, animals like sharks and boars, both big and small, you'll get leather from them, and you'll get meat. Obviously, these guys will give you large chunks of meat, which will be very nice. Let's see. I think right now we're just going to use up our rations, so you'll find plenty of them later, and we'll also be at a point later where it's not a big deal at all because we'll have plenty of food and water. Just carry him. I'm looking to see if there's any other wrecks on this island. Looks like there are a couple. But I am not seeing them. Okay, that's one we came from. It's actually kind of odd. Usually there are more wrecks than that. No, well. Might be some just quite a bit deeper than. So basically, you'll usually see the water kind of splashing around where there's wrecks at. So it's getting late tonight, but I think what we'll do is tomorrow morning when we wake up, we will take the raft out and kind of see if we can spot anything. So let's go ahead and that guy's full. So let's go ahead and back up. Actually, let's not do it with this. Let's do it with this. I want to make sure as we, with it being full, as we drink from it, automatically starts filling itself back up. So let's save, sleep. See, we got our lantern going. So we can actually just pick them up and walk with them. So let's make a little path around the island while it's still sort of dark. Because sometimes the wrecks are a little bit easier to spot at night. So you can see out there the water's being disturbed. So there's a wreck right there. So actually I'm going to mark that with my lantern. I did not even see that guy there. And don't see any others, so I think that's it. Okay, so at least now we know where to take our raft. So we should get us another. Drink some water. Good. Let's do. Man, we got plenty of crab. Let's go ahead and make another meal.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Something I thought I saw. Actually, I may have. No. I'm going to go ahead and drop him over here. So what I want to do with those is take them with us to our next island so I can plant them. That way we'll always have a decent stock of antidotes in case we gives you a little bit less worry about doing swimming and stuff, because the only thing you have to really worry about at that point is sharks, which you can usually pretty well handle with just being observant before you go diving. See, well, I guess while we're waiting, we'll look around at the different islands. See if we can see kind of where we want to go next. All these are like rather large islands. So the difference is, so this is a small island. There's all we got to deal with is small crabs. You have basically medium islands, which will have small crabs and usually like one large, um, like a giant crab. And then you'll have large islands, which will have usually like two large or giant crabs. It'll have one large boar, which those things can be kind of nasty sometimes if you're not paying attention. A couple small boar, and then 2 snakes, which will obviously poison you. So what I tend to try to do is make my base on the medium islands. That way, if I'm not paying attention or something while I'm just kind of doing things, the only thing I really have to worry about is a single giant crab and the little crabs that will hurt you, but they won't do a whole lot of damage. So um, it just gives me a little bit easier time, just kind of um, gives me a little bit easier time not really having to worry about my environment quite as much. Let's do another. Let's grab at least one more spear. We'll just be more careful with our shots next time. Let's get reckless with them. We'll just paddle around there. That might be easier than trying to carry this thing all the way over there. We'll kind of see if we see anything else on the way. So a couple things we'll kind of try to be on the lookout for are, which can't really do anything with right now, but clay deposits. This might be useful later if I just kind of try to remember where I saw them at. These guys are kind of deep down. Try to see some. We see some more buoys, which is nice. It's kind of. There he is, right on cue. Just getting ready to say, let's hang out here for a few minutes and see if we have a shark hanging out. Unfortunately, the water's a little choppy at the moment. It's going to make aiming this up a little bit more difficult. Want to be much more careful with our shots this time around, as I miss. The nice thing is, once you get a couple spears in them, they're typically a little bit easier to see because you'll see the spears poking up water. So this happens occasionally. Once they get a few hits on them, they will take off for a little bit. But we're not going to do anything crazy, so we were going to just hang out. I think that island over there might be a good contender for our next one. That looks like maybe medium size. Looks really large. That might be medium as well. I think I'll do that one next. So the music will change, as you can hear. You got a sharp round. And it's got being very, very elusive. I think I may have just parked my rifle a little bit too close to this wreck. They both looked like bad shots, but they both did get them, so we should still be good to go. That definitely missed. Might still be okay. Nice if I can kill him over here somewhere. Make it. Done. That was perfect timing because that was my last beer. Actually, there's one of them. Alright, so definitely should be good on food for a while. I'd like to go and leave those spears in him. I'll go check out this wreck. Of course, it looks like it's Mary Lane. Ah, crap, I forgot mine. We can do it with these, it'll just take a second. These guys will go everywhere. Typically there are 5 of them. Oh, well that's convenient. I can ride my boat. So you can see a sea snake over there. Oh, there's a lionfish. We're gonna try to get away from him. Look very bare. Actually, very surprising. So for some reason, if something's just sitting in like your boat or something, it puts a lot of weight. That's a very, very surprisingly empty shipwreck. Usually a bigger ship like that will have a whole lot more stuff in it. Oh well, got another crate, which should be helpful. Toss him up there. Basically, I want to move him up far enough to where storm comes in, it doesn't. The water will raise, so I don't want to have him go flying or go floating away on me. Even though we probably won't really use him again, we don't want to lose. We still do have a couple of rations and stuff in them that I would like to hang on to. So let's see what we got real quick. Well, actually, we can clear this whole entire guy out. We don't need him. The only thing they're kind of useful for is when it's nighttime. You shoot one up like that, you can obviously see the red glowing. Actually, let's want to go ahead and drag this guy over by our other one. Yeah, so when it's glowing, you can obviously see a little bit better at night. Did we lose him? We did. Come on, Hammerhead. Let's get him down here. Bye, brother. Come up here. Alright, so let's go ahead and drink. Let's fill this guy back up. As you can see, these guys all respawned already. So actually, let's plenty to refill this. Just pick the other one up so I can drop them down on top of each other. So filtered engine. Fuel electrical. And the other ones. We'll add this to our pile. We'll add these to this pile. So basically, you can make out of the buoy balls. You can make bobbers for fishing, which I think you can catch like marlins and stuff. But never really had too much of an issue with. It looks like some rain. I've never had much of an issue with food or anything, so it's never really been that big of a deal. Let's see. So what I want to do right now is, if I remember where I put it, which I obviously do not. I would like to find my axe. I would think at this point of playing I would remember not to do that, because I've done that on multiple occasions. Oh, there it is. Okay. So what I want to do is go around and go ahead and collect all these. I remember there being 3, I just don't remember what the numbers. Alright, so let's go around the perimeter and regardless any problems happening that we're seeing. That's ridiculous. Sorry, occasionally I'm just trying to check my stream to see if it's getting jumpy or not. I'm very, very new to the streaming, so I'm still trying to get some stuff figured out. Obviously, I'll never make it a Griffin fruit. That's good. I don't plan on trying to make it big time, but I enjoy playing games, so people are curious about different games and stuff like that. Sometimes it's nice to see someone else play it before you drop $60 on it. There's a game here out. It's not very expensive. I think it's like $20 or something on Steam. If that, it might be like 15, but so far I've had pretty good fun with it. It's not as crazy like the forest or something where you're having to deal with a bunch of other enemies. Always like the movie Castaway, so this is about as close as you can possibly get to actually doing it without going to do it. So, and you can do things to make it obviously way easier. And there's a lot of, you can create your own islands, and there are a lot of very crazy ones out there. Something I'm not a big fan with is some of those is they will overload the islands with a lot of stuff. Like they'll have just hundreds of buoy balls or tons of like corrugated scrap and stuff that's typically not super easy to find. So it just kind of makes it's almost like when I feel like once you're doing that, it's almost like a using cheat code or something because you're never really having to do anything because you basically are just given everything. So I typically just stick to the basically random islands that they just give you. We don't do. Trying to say I wanna cut those guys up good. Let's leave them for now. And the issue is if I cut them up, I don't have anywhere to put the leather that I will get from them. And obviously, I don't. Leather's very handy, so I don't want to do something dumb and have to come back later or something to pick all of them up. So I'm just dropping all of those there because basically all we're really going to use it for is these. You can see these go down a little bit, but as long as we're having to use it to cook stuff, it's not going to be a big deal. So we'll make 2 rafts out of that. I'm trying to think how big of a raft. I think I'm going to try to keep it rather small. So the issue you run into is the bigger the raft, the slower it is and harder it is to steer and stuff. So obviously the benefit is you can build crate shells, container shells, so you can obviously once you start getting, I think on the day 40 something island I had probably 30 or so containers. So you'll, as you're hitting a lot of these shipwrecks, you'll end up getting quite a few basically this guy, what you can do is rename your guys. And you can, what I use it for is to basically the container boxes, once you have a bunch of them, you can start separating stuff out to make it a little bit easier to do things. So like I'll eventually have one container that has nothing but fuel parts in it, one that has nothing but electrical parts. It just makes it a little bit easier to keep things organized and make it a little bit easier to find them when you actually need them. I'm trying to debate if I want to do another food or not. Nah, I'll do it in the morning. So save. And we'll do one more in-game day, and then I think I'm going to call it a stream. Fortunately, I don't get tons of time to play. I've got a lot going on, so just try to do it as I can. I always like to, when I can catch them, I like to watch the sunrises. Sometimes it's nice and relaxing to, especially once you get a lot of things done, shelters and stuff built. Let's just we'll keep a couple crabs going.
Oh,
Do a
gross.
ration, I guess. Make a couple lashings. To drop these because I don't really need them at the moment. So what we will do is, you know what, I need a hammer. So I need a stick. Here. Okay. Now with the hammer. And not get them to attach at the moment. Okay. That's one thing I can typically kind of goof the system a little bit with. So basically what you never want to do is build it out here because you will not be able to attach it later. You always want to make sure you attach it as you're doing it. Alright, so we've got a base going. Also something to keep in mind, you can see the durability. They will all, you know, obviously go down the more you use stuff, so something to keep in mind. So like right now I'm using a crude axe. You can do a refined axe later, but to use it you actually need a crude axe. So one of the good things to do is when you want an axe, always do a crude one first, use it till it's just about dead, and then do your crude axe with it. That way you kind of get the most out of your tools, since no matter if your your crude axe was 100% or 1%, your refined axe will still be 100%. So it's just a way to get the most out of all your items. I think I need 14 for a raft base, so that should be good. one more, and I think we're good for probably take off.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yep, 8. Yeah, that's fine. And it's kind of funny because when you first start, you're like, "Oh man, I've got so few resources to do things," and then get 2 or 3 weeks into the game, like in game days, you're like, "Oh, I think I'm alright." You'll have just stockpiles of all kinds of things, logs, and just you name it, you got it. I got plenty. You do this little lashing. Good, really. Now we want to make us a floor. Anthony. Should be good for a floor. So I think I need 4 for floor. Yep. So grab 16 sticks. Try not to use the palm trees just yet if I don't have to. Okay, I think I want to be okay. Be handy to be able to come back to this island later and get all the palm trees in. So just one more stick. I only have to do this all by fighting trees. So cut down the small guy over here. Yeah, see the physics. Gotta love it. Actually, what I want to do is I'd like to try to keep all my stuff organized if I can. So now we've got raft floors. So really all we need now is a sail and a new roughs I got 6. I wonder if we can do a I don't have leather though. Does it work doing a tanning rack for that? Don't have enough sticks to do it. So that might not be a bad idea. to be able to get enough sticks. So basically what I'm thinking is I can harvest this rock here to get more rocks. You need 6 rocks to do an anchor, which is very helpful. So I kind of like to have one before I leave. It'll just make things much easier. Kind of looks like a small island over there too, or a medium. Make it that one. So let's see. What do we need? Need some more sticks. So let's juice up one of these palm trees. So we'll not be able to do it just yet because we still need, I think, 4 lashings, and we definitely don't have enough of that yet. Yeah, so we got 2 lashings, 5 sticks, so we should be one more stick. So let's see. So we need to chop this guy up. Something I did not realize is, for some reason, give me just, oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to turn the screen off for a second. For some reason, I do not have, there we go. Alright, back, sorry about that. So we'll not have quite enough to do a loom at the moment. What we're going to do is just drop these over here so we'll have them when we need them. I don't recall seeing that guy before. Oh, my raft. Shop him, shop these. Let's go spares. Let's go check that wreck out. Maybe. There it is. And of course, so we're not going to go out in the rain. Storms can be pretty nuts. Pull the raft back in. There. We know where it's at though, so we'll grab it. Once the storm passes, it's almost 2. May have to check it out tomorrow, the next day. Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. That way we'll have, there should be at least, hopefully, one more crate. Some of this stuff I'll probably just leave here for now, since we'll probably head to. I don't know if I want to do that island. Trying to decide which island I want to do. This guy back just in case. Guess we're just kind of hanging out. We'll get some more food going.
Oh, gross.
I don't know how he still thinks that's gross after doing it many times. That one kind of looks like it may. That one's a medium island. We may head to it when we're ready to sail out. Well, at least we'll head that way. At least see how it looks. If it's a large island, we'll move on. I don't want to build a base on a large island. So. Let's get this bird. Yeah, I don't know why they even put flares in here. So useless. That storm did not last long. Leave that there. Dust these off. Grab some water. As soon as this is done cooking, we'll go check out that wreck. Yeah, it sounds like it's done. There it is. It's a good toss. Up here, where? Kind of does look like it's going to storm. Now I actually do not see where that wreck was. No, just kind of paddle out here a little bit, see if we get a different angle on it. Pretty sure I saw one. I am not now. Let's head back to the shore. Yeah, that's weird. I'm almost positive there's one out there. Mainly because I saw it numerous times. Alrighty. That's fun. Yeah, could have sworn I saw it like right out here somewhere. Oh well, there'll be others. Let's see, we're doing good on food. It's dark. Really need to. We're not gonna really be able to do our loom or tinning until the get some more lashings going. So just go ahead and sleep this night. Maybe they're starting to grow back. Alright, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna sleep and hopefully they're all respawned. Nope, not yet. So basically what I'm wanting to do is we're going to craft a tanning rack. That way I can make some leather straps. And with these leather straps I'm going to make a refined pick so I can take care of this rock here. That should give us enough rocks to do a raft anchor, because it's definitely very handy to have. Trying to hit shipwrecks and stuff, so I've got enough cloth to do the sail and rudder, so that shouldn't be an issue. But I do not have right now. I only have. Oh, actually, I do. I guess I don't need to do that. I guess I kind of wrong before. Let's get us a little. Not gonna be much food, but I'll get us a little bit. I really don't want to cut up the sharks yet. Let's get us. Might have to go collect a few fish.
Oh, it's disgusting.
More food. They still have rations that I don't ever use, so could always do that. I'll let that guy go. Let's get I need my cloth. Let's grab some sticks. Let's drop these guys off. My hammer. Drop it there. Now do a sail, which I'm going to put it there. Let's do a rudder. That'll be enough. to have them on this side. That should allow me to, yeah, so I can reach my sail, and then I'll put an anchor here. What do we need for the anchor? So I am going to need lashings though, which I don't have. Do another one.
Oh, gross.
Should just let that go on. So basically we're just going to have to hang out till we get some of our either yucca to come back or whatever, so we can get some fibrous leaves, so we can do a couple more lashings, and then we'll make us a anchor, and then we will go sailing. So curious about that other wreck. Oh well. Cut this open. There's a little more food in us. So the issue I'm going to have right now is when I go sailing, I'm not going to be able to take all of the stuff with me at the moment. So I may empty these guys out because I'm not going to be able to create fuel for a little bit. Definitely want my corrugated scraps, that way I can go ahead and get a couple farming plots going. I'll go ahead and leave the shelter water still here because I'll probably come back to this island a little bit to get take care of these palm trees, make sure I grab my sharks. So we're not quite, even though we're leaving the island, we're not quite done with it. So we just hit day 4. Let's make a little trip around the island. See if anything's respawning yet. I'm still very proud of my stackable coconuts. Doesn't appear like anything's respawning at the moment. Try to see if maybe I just remember seeing the shipwreck somewhere else. Let's see. Looks like a promising island there as well. Now I'm a little torn. Kind of like the shipwreck that one has. Almost got a decent one too. I don't know. Not sure which island we're going to next though. Let's just. What month is this? August. Yeah, unfortunately we're kind of at a little standstill at the moment. Come back for that guy later. come back for. I'm trying to remember where it's at for when I come back. There's definitely a potato. Yep, by the big rock. Come back for that. You need the potato to make fuel. When we can get that going. But before I do that, I want to actually plant it so I can start growing my own potatoes, so I can be pretty self-sufficient with the fuel. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're much like I'm guessing you do quite a bit on a deserted island. We're in kind of a little bit of a waiting game. Fill that guy back up. Rename all kinds of stuff. Not much else to do at the moment. Higher vantage point. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which island. Kind of lean towards that one now. So, I'm not sure if you guys, the viewer that I have at the moment, not sure if you heard me earlier, but, and I don't know if you play the game at all, but I tend to, me personally, I don't like to build my, shelter and stuff on a large island. Yeah, there it is. Okay, sweet. Let's go grab that. These. Don't know if there's any sharks. I think it's way closer to land than I thought. So basically, large islands, you have a lot of stuff on land that you have to deal with. I tend to not like to have to worry about on a day-to-day basis. I can always travel to those islands later if I need to do things like get leather and stuff like that. So there shouldn't be another shark because I killed both of them. Typically only 2 sharks, but let's double check. Be safe. And I'm also a very big wimp when it comes to the water because there are way too many things to hurt you. And since this is a survival game, I tend to try to play it sort of like I would in real life and try to be very cautious. In this sense, and take it unnecessary. Yeah, let's go for it. Oh, hammerhead. That's not good. Ooh, got back up just in time. Well, good news is we'll have plenty of food. So I need to eventually give me some refined spears, so this will be much, much quicker. Super waves. Vorpal shot. Ooh, better make this shot count. Looks like we are going to be heading back into lane for a minute. It's apparently a horrible shot today. I've missed a lot of shots. If you ever get down exploring this, I want to find a lot of spears just out in the middle of nowhere. Because I've been really, really bad with that. So let's go finish this guy off. All right, where are you at? Yeah, that's fine. Alright, shark, now you're out here. There it is. Yeah, just going for the home run there. He's getting close to shore, which will make it a little bit easier to drag back to shore. But, oh. Man. I think this is the worst I've ever been at throwing spears. At this point, I want to let them come close to the boat because I honestly don't know if I'll hit them. Oh, come on. I don't know why. I was definitely not aiming down. I don't know why it went down. Unfortunately, it's getting the time of day where it's making it very hard to see him. Wow, this is absolutely pathetic. There are going to be many, many spears out the bottom. of the water. That is very sad. I'm debating on if I even want to. Oh, let's do this. We'll get. I'm going to go ahead and finish up our raft because that'll make it give us a better platform for doing stuff. So let's go ahead and get us some fiber sleeves. And hopefully once we get on the next island, we'll forget about how horrible we have been with throwing spears. Alright, let's sit around and gather up some more. Good enough for 4, I think that's all I need. Yep. So unfortunately I had to use all my sticks because I'm apparently horrible at throwing a spear. Let's get back together. Make sure that's filled up. Actually, great. Now all set. So what I think we're going to do is go make a couple more spears, unfortunately. And then probably just when I wake up I'll do a ration. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and save, and I am going to call that a night. We are on day 4, so hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to stream again, and we will start up with day 5. And my hopes for starting with day 5 is to 1, kill that hammerhead that's causing me so much grief, just out of spite, and then we'll kind of head out in search of what island we're going to make our base, which I think I've got an idea of which one I want to do. So then we'll start getting that going, and then we'll probably come back to this island to clear out some resources and stuff. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I will hopefully see you later. Have a good night.